Hola a todos and welcome back to my channel. I'm Alberson and today I thought I would share with you the things that I think I miss about Australia. I thought it would be especially funny to do this video today. I thought it would be fun to do this video just before I go home. So I actually go back to Australia for 3 weeks for the first time in 3 years next weekend from when I'm filming this, because I'll upload it probably when I'm in Australia. I haven't spent all that time in Spain, but obviously this list is based on the things that I miss from home while living in Spain. But yeah, I haven't been in Spain for 3 years, so it's all a blur. So these are what I think that I miss, if that makes sense. I will also say that it actually took me a while to come up with this list when I was going through it. And really, if I thought about it really hard, I could make a list of 100 things, but they would mostly be food related. So I've kept this list to 12 things and not all food related. If you do enjoy this video, please make sure to like, comment and subscribe to my channel. I don't always remember to ask in videos, but it definitely does help my channel. So yeah, especially if you're a repeat viewer. Number 1, speaking English. And I don't mean this on a daily basis. I actually speak English a lot in Spain because I teach English. And I really like the fact that I'm forced to speak Spanish every day of my life here and that I get to practice a lot listening, speaking, interacting in the language. That's genuinely one of the things that I like most about living in Spain. But what I mean is when I really need to specifically explain something to someone, I maybe just can't articulate myself very well. And in certain situations, this can be quite frustrating. These situations kind of include but aren't limited to bureaucracy, getting a haircut, and getting like new makeup or cosmetics. I find that these are things that I'm getting better at but still struggle with in Spain. And I really miss the ease of which I can do all these things in Australia. Every now and again, I just wish I could articulate myself a little bit better. Alrighty, I miss how fast things change in Australia. So I think this is 2 things play into this. New Australia doesn't have a long-standing historical culture to hold on to. We also haven't had a dictatorship, so hold on tightly, let go lightly. We're more likely to let go of old cultural norms and social rules and things like that than I would say Europeans in general are. This isn't even just a Spanish thing. And I do genuinely miss how much things will move on and how quickly they'll evolve. And in a lot of ways, Australia just feels very modern compared to continental Europe. This does come with a downside because we are very susceptible to stupid fads. But you win some, you lose some. International food. So nothing in particular, just a bit of Thai, some Greek food, some authentic Chinese food, some Cantonese food, some Italian food, some Mexican food, a bit more Indian, some Nepalese, some South African food, some Ethiopian would be really nice, and just some more spice generally in my life. I genuinely just miss being able to go out for a pretty authentic, if not authentic, version of many different cuisines. Oh, and I forgot to mention Vietnamese. But Vietnamese also. But yeah, I miss spice and I miss the variety of which you can eat out in Australia. It does come at a cost though. Oh, and Japanese. I forgot Japanese. You can actually get Japanese here. It's not as common and maybe not as authentic and a bit more hit and miss. And let's be real, the Chinese food in Spain is absolutely an abomination of Chinese cuisine. Although I do come from the country that invented this. I really miss free water. Like I just miss going to a restaurant or a bar or anywhere and getting free water. In Spain, you always have to order a bottle of water. I don't know, I don't really like bottled water always that much anyway. I don't like the overuse of plastic, even if it comes in glass. I feel like I should just get water for free. I think this is an Anglo thing because Americans also complain about it a lot. I just miss getting water for free. So I just miss multiculturalism generally, and I guess that's why we have such good food and such a variety and so much authentic food. Because I'm not just saying that we have varied cuisines. I'm saying, or restaurants that call themselves like Mexican restaurants. I'm saying you can both get like bastardized versions and authentic versions of most cuisines in Australia, except for maybe Spanish. But yeah, in general, you can get so many like varieties of food. But not just that, just like the variety of people that you see in Australia and meet, and everyone has a different family history and people come from different parts of the world. So those parts of the world we tend to have a greater awareness of in Australia because we usually have friends from them. So we will know things about those places, except for Spain, clearly. And I kind of miss that, and I find it really weird that in Spain, I can generally see a foreign face now and know that that person isn't Spanish, and that's just so foreign to me, because in Australia, you could look like anything and be Australian and have an Australian accent and have grown up in Australia. At the risk of sounding food obsessed, I miss our avocado culture. I know we get a lot of shit for it, but we have bloody good avocados and we eat them all the time and on savory dishes. And I really genuinely miss our Hass avocados. I know you have them here. They just taste better at home. I haven't really anything else to say about that. So I miss connectivity. And what I mean by this is I miss having everything accessible online and just being able to do a lot more things online with ease. I feel like it's weird, especially because Spain actually has better internet, like better and faster internet than Australia in most parts. I know in some rural parts of Spain, you still struggle with the Wi-Fi connection. It generally is better here, but I feel like it's not utilized that much, which I guess plays into the fact that like in Australia, we tend to like really get on top of new trends and things like that. And we're really influenced by like Asia and the US. So that probably plays into our technology obsession as well. But I genuinely really miss that. Sometimes I just want to be able to do something like that. I miss tea that has flavor. And I know the British definitely have better tea than we do. I'm not claiming that we have like the world's greatest selection of tea, but we do have better tea. And we have a lot more like tea shops, and just tea in supermarkets tends to taste better and is stronger. And I miss strong tea. Yeah, and any British person living in Australia is going to be like, your tea sucks, because it probably does in comparison. I miss our customer service. So in Spain, customer service is kind of hit and miss. I'd say in general, it's much better than in Germany, where it's like just objectively bloody awful. Like I just don't want to go into a shop and have someone be rude to me. I don't know why that seems to be okay. But I do miss the fact that in Australia, it's kind of like your responsibility as a customer service person to be nice to customers. And I know that a lot of Europeans consider this to be fake and blah, 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 blah. But I used to work in customer service, and I genuinely think that knowing you have to be nice to people, you end up in a nicer and happier mood. Then they're nicer back to you, and then you're all just happier. There's nothing worse than like having a customer service like person at the supermarket or something be rude to you. It doesn't happen that often in Spain, but when it does, it kind of puts a dampener on like the morning or whatever time of day it is. And I just don't think that it's really necessary. Of course, sometimes it happens in Australia, but it does happen a lot less often. And I guess we're also a lot more business focused, so we don't want to make our customers upset or annoyed. But yeah, I do miss the fact that I knew if I walked into a shop that there would be like a certain expectation of like the level of customer service. I miss seeing big mammals, and I know we don't have the biggest mammals in the world, but I do just genuinely miss seeing kangaroos and koalas just passing by. I am one of those weird Australians who grew up close enough to the countryside that I did see animals like this every week of my life. Like I have seen so many echidnas, I've seen countless wallabies and kangaroos. I used to have a koala living in the backyard of my grandparents' holiday house where we used to stay over like the entire summer, and even over winter we used to go a lot. And I genuinely miss seeing animals of that size out in the wild. I do see a lot of like frogs and lizards and birds of prey and kind of things like that here, and farm animals. There's a lot of farm animals in Cantabria, but I miss seeing native mammals. It seems a really silly thing to say, but I do genuinely miss it. So I thought I'd mention this. I really missed our beaches when I lived in the south of Spain. I know you have nice beaches, and I just think we have nicer ones. And I wasn't living that close to them either. Like in Seville, it's quite difficult to get to the beach. I missed them a lot more when I lived there than when I live in Cantabria. I still miss specific beaches in Australia, and of course, like some of the beaches back home will always just feel like home to me. But I don't miss them as much as I used to. But I am, one of the things I'm most excited about going back to Australia is going back and staying down Phillip Island for like the most of Christmas, because that's where I grew up, on the beaches down there. And yeah, I really miss that. But I'm pretty lucky where I live in Spain. We do have awesome beaches all along the northern coastline. The coffee, of course I was going to talk about the coffee. I miss the coffee a lot. I genuinely really miss Melbourne style coffee. Thank God for Italian immigration to Australia. Finally, I miss the awareness of Asian cultures. I have so many friends whose family or they directly moved over from different parts of Asia, and nothing annoys me more than when someone calls all Asian culture Chinese culture. I mean, Chinese culture in general has like so many variations, but then to call like this whole continental region one country, it's like saying that all European culture is Italian, but probably worse since it's bigger. And it genuinely annoys me a little bit. But I do realize that in Australia we have a lot more exposure and awareness of this part of the world. We still make mistakes, and obviously older generations still say stupid things. But in general, I don't find that people my age or younger would say things like, oh, it's Chinese, when they're talking about Thailand or Japan or, you know, anywhere else. Anyway, they're all the things that I think that I miss about Australia. I'm sure that some of them I probably don't miss, or there'll be other things that I do miss. Oh my gosh, one more. I miss our money. I really miss Australian money. Australian money is both beautiful and it feels nice. It doesn't matter when it gets wet, and it's really easy to like discern which coin is which number. I know in euros you do technically have like the differences for blind people, but in Australia they're like way more extreme. And we have cute little animals on ours. Anyway, to wrap up, they are all the things that I think that I miss about Australia. I'm sure there'll be more when I'm there, or things that I thought that I missed but I don't actually miss when I go home. I'm really interested to see what reverse culture shocks I experience when I go back to Australia, because it has been a really long time. And if there's enough, I will share them in another video. Anyway, I hope you found this video interesting. If you did, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all very soon from somewhere else. Hasta luego.